So here are adopted chicks from the hatchery that we got for our broody hen. If you haven't watched the unboxing video for Cackle Hatchery, we have these chicks in that video. They are adopted and otherwise would not have potentially otherwise would not have found any homes. So it's saving their lives, and it's saving our broody hen's life. Sadly, what a broody hen will do if they don't get chicks, if you don't have fertile eggs. Right now we have a couple of roosters, but none of our eggs are fertile. One is too old and one is too young. So basically, this is the only option we have to save her life, is to get some chicks. And yes, I could have just gotten, I don't know, 6 chicks that I bought, but I wanted to adopt. I actually wanted to adopt. I know that the hens, that their hen package, I think they call it their rainbow pullet package. Their hen package, I might be getting that confused with another hatchery, but every hatchery pretty much has a all hen adoption, all pullet or all hen adoption, and they're sexed female, and that's what everyone wants. No one wants these straight runs. So, I mean, they do, but they don't get sold as much. So I really wanted to go for the underdog this time. So what I did was I got the straight run heavy surplus, or heavy straight run special, I think is what they call it. And they make you get a minimum of 15. Well, we ordered 15, and actually, complimentary wise, it's actually a nice thing. They gave us 3 chicks free, but we already have 45 plus chickens, including our roosters. We don't need 18, and so I was asking around, saying, does anybody want these extra ones that are not going to fit under the hen? Because I knew that there's only a certain amount that we could fit under her anyway. She's a small hen. So I said, does anybody want any of these? I was honest. I was like, you know what, they're straight run. You're probably going to get a few roosters in here. I don't know what breeds they are. All I could tell them is, they're NPIP. And that's all I could, promise them, really. So within an hour, literally within an hour, I got a response from somebody I had called. His friend was interested in getting them. So within an hour, we found homes for all the extra ones. And so there's 10 in here. And I actually miscounted. I thought we got 17, so I was going to give her 9. But apparently I miscounted. We had 18. So I gave them 8, thinking I had 9, and nope, I got 10. But it is what it is. We'll just waiting for our hen. And we're going to give them to our hen today because they look super nice and strong and healthy. I think that they are ready. What we're going to do, though, is because they're already 4 or 5 days old, I think 5 days old now, we're going to have to, like I said, put food and water in the nest box with them, because she won't feed them for 3 days. She'll sit there for 3 days just as on instinct, thinking that more is going to hatch. Thinking that more might hatch, and she doesn't want to leave the nest until she's sure she's got all that hatched. And that's a good thing, because if she didn't do that and one was still hatching, if she left the nest, it would dry, stick, and die. So actually that's a good instinct, but doesn't do us any favors for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to let them kind of finish up their meal here in the brooder, and then we're going to give later in this afternoon, we're going to give them to our broody hen. So basically we're saving their lives, and we're saving her life. They're adopted, so we don't know what would unfortunately happen if they weren't. And then she would just sit there and refuse to eat and drink if we didn't give her something. It's heartbreaking, but that's what she would do. She would sit on those infertile eggs and think that they're going to hatch and just never give up and then die trying to hatch them. So we have to do something to save her life. Why not save some lives, some extra lives? So anyway, we're going to give them to the hen. And I'm going to try to do this as I'm, with one hand. I don't know if I can do it with one hand, but I'm going to try to put them in there and show putting them in there. But if that fails, then we'll just have to show her after I put the chicks in there. So we put them in the bucket so that they can easy transport to the coop. Here we go. You guys ready to meet your new mom? It's springtime, so it's not too cold, so she should be able to keep 10 warm. But if it was wintertime, I wouldn't be giving her all 10 because I'd be afraid they'd fight over warmth. You guys need to stay away from me. They always think I got some kind of treat or something. Everybody comes running. So what I have to do is I have to close the coop so that no one can get in there. And they would try to eat the baby food and everything. So I have to kind of just close the coop until Mom gets associated with her new chicks. Then if I see anybody kind of hanging around where no one else is hanging around, then I know they want to lay an egg, then I'll let them in there. But if they're not laying an egg, I'm not going to let them in there because they would just all steal the baby food. This is the tricky part. Can I do all this with one hand? I have no idea if I'll be able to take them out. And so you'll notice that their water looks orange. That's because it's vitamin water. That actually helps them quite a bit. We got food in the back, water in the front. Got golf balls she's sitting on instead of real eggs because the eggs are infertile anyway. So we've been using the eggs for, consumption and giving her golf balls. So all chaos endured and I had to use both hands. But there she is with her babies. And she's not a first-time mom, so she knows what babies are already. And it's a little bit difficult to get them under her right now because I don't let them go under on their own because she is not a first-time mom. She doesn't care really that much to see them. Now, if you had a first-time mom, you'd have to make sure that they were all under her before, like hours before she ever saw them. But she's starting to realize what they are already. She's starting to remember, oh, these are the things I've been waiting for. So, if I try to put them under her right now, she's going to leave the nest because she got a little spooked. That's Rune for you. Rune always gets spooked. She's a very flighty chicken, even when she's broody. So even though she makes a really good mom, it's hard not to spook her. So, anyway, we're going to let them go under her on their own. And then we're going to kind of let her settle down and leave her alone so that she doesn't feel like she needs to, choose a different nest or anything. And then we'll check back on her in a bit. Be interesting to see if Dusty wants to adopt Rune's chicks again later when Rune weans them. About 2-3 months ago, Rune had another batch of chicks. She weaned them, and Dusty here decided to take it upon herself to adopt the 6-week-old. She's never been broody, never, but she just wants to take care of the adolescent chickens for some reason. She's most interested actually in the older ones, which is like weird. But when she was little, all of her siblings got eaten by a predator. And I think she was the only one left, and I think that kind of impacted her, and I think she just watches out for any of those that are kind of that 6-week-old size. It was interesting to see last time there was a huge number of them, 15, with a rooster, a juvenile rooster, as the same age as them, and she did watch for them, but she never actually took it upon herself to mother them. I think she thought, okay, they're safe enough, they got enough of each other to keep each other safe. Typically she goes for the smaller clutches that she thinks are more vulnerable, so we'll see if she does anything. Right now she wants this food, so like I said, she typically doesn't show any interest until they get older. But that's probably one and only time that's ever going to happen on the farm, though. Have a hen like that does that. It's pretty rare. She was adopted too, actually. Okay, let's go check on Mom again. So I don't want to lift that hatch unless I have to. I don't want to I don't want to disturb her. I don't want to make her. Can you see that? All the chicks, they're under her now. None of them are behind her. They found their way under her, and she's accepted them. And I don't want to freak her out. The last thing I want to do is have her choose a different nest box. So I'm going to leave you alone now, Rune. You take care of them, okay?